Hello LEGO fans, Bricks Unbound here with another Building Hogwarts update. This is carrying on from my last one where I was beginning work on the Viaduct Entrance Hall. I've actually accomplished a fair bit of progress on it, I feel like at least. It was certainly several hours worth of building, and I'm actually up on top of one of the towers here right now. So as you probably remember, there's 4 towers on this section of Hogwarts. There's a couple, the one behind it is hidden. There's a couple of smaller ones towards the back, and then larger towers up front with the main entrance way into this section of the castle in between them. And I like how this tower is turning out so far. We'll go a little bit closer for some more details. So it's mainly just rotating, alternating between 1x3 bricks and 1x1 cylinders. And then I had to fit windows in, so you can see what I did there to try to make those work. It was a little tricky since they are 4 long instead of 3 like the other sections, but there was enough give that it wasn't too hard to get those added on here. There's also these just these kind of lines, these lips that go around the outside of the tower. Unfortunately, this piece here doesn't really exist in the 1x version. So I just had to leave spaces in between, but I think it still gets the idea across. I apologize for the dark lighting here, just with how this is positioned in my room. There aren't lights behind me. And up top, I think I'm going to do a little bit of reworking for these, because it's a very stark contrast between the pattern down here and what's up here. So I'll put a few more rounded looking parts in this top section, and obviously some of the colors are not correct. I ran out of parts in the tan color, but I think it's getting the general idea across, and this top section does stick out a little bit from the tower underneath. I might extend that out even further too to give it more of the contrast there, but I think it's coming along pretty nicely. Now that I do have it set up next to everything behind it though, because this is the library section here, and then of course the long gallery there where you see Luna standing in the hallway. This is actually looking a little short. But luckily it won't be too hard to kind of pull this apart quick, add in another row or 2 of bricks to get that a little bit higher, because technically I think this tower is supposed to be taller than the library section, and it would be either way once I get the giant roof on it, so I have to figure out how I'm going to do that as well. But the proportions are just a little off. It's just looking, it's not quite tall enough compared to how round it is, how wide it is. So I'll do that, but I'm pretty happy with how it's coming along. Down here, haven't done a whole lot, mainly got the door in place, figured out spacing on the windows. There's a little bit of interior work on like the columns and the walls, so nothing too exciting there. It was mainly just this tower, and it was tricky actually up top to get that, to be able to extend it out from the side an extra little bit and still make it sturdy, because it actually, oops, there I knocked myself over, but this top of the tower is actually pretty sturdy there. And to get the bend, you can see the hinge plates in here. Did not have a ton of them in tan, so I have temporarily used light bluish gray. Also, of course, a fourth of the tower up at this height is missing. Down below, it is very intentionally not going to be there because that will be connected to the actual castle itself, but the roof of this section will come down, and the top ring of the tower is actually higher up than that. So I do need to complete that connection. And as far as how I positioned it here, it's attached by just a couple of studs over there and on this side. And then I just used plates on top of those, tiles on top of those inverted slopes to just give it support there. And this is the piece that really saved me stability-wise. This relatively new 1x2 plate with the rounded ends to it. Because those I can just line up and fit in a circle going around, and I doubled them up and alternated them so they're holding these inverted slopes in place very tightly, which I'm glad I figured that out. I just need to order a bunch more of those, because again, the colors, I had maybe, I don't know, 10 or 12 with a tan, and about that many light bluish gray, and then a fair number of black ones. But I'll get some more of those ordered from Bricks and Pieces or some Bricklink sellers or something to get them on the way. So we need a lot of them to finish this tower, do the other tower over there, and then this will probably be a very similar technique to what I use for several other round towers in Hogwarts. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. It does just integrate into the walls lower down. I couldn't find a good way that'd be very stable, at least, to make it so I could separate the tower into sections. So the other floors here will just sit in here, and the tower will always be one large chunk, even if I remove the lower floors. I'm just going to use these pieces again to just lock those floors into place so they don't move around when I don't want them to, and so it holds the tower in place, but it doesn't break too easily either. And down here, just basic layouts for where I might put rooms. Nothing is finalized. One of these will be like the staff room, and the other one, I don't know. I talked about maybe putting the troll and the bathroom scene down here, which would require one of these to become a much larger room, which is perfectly fine. Again, this is all just a work in progress, early stages right now for this section of the castle. But I'm looking forward to what's to come on it. There's just a quick look at those columns that I mentioned earlier. I'm happy with how those turned out. Again, nothing too fancy on the building techniques here. Just, well, I can't even get the piece off. Just a second. There we go. So just use this 2x2 corner piece, and then a brick with a stud on one side, and a G-slope. And that's what I did for this. To make them 3 wide. 4 wide would have been nice, but I did not want to make this section of Hogwarts any wider. It's already 5 16 by 16 plates wide and 2 deep. So I don't want to have to extend that anymore. I'm already running out of room as it is in this space. But I am happy with how everything is turning out. Still waiting on those parts to get here. And I'll have to, again, place another Bricks and Pieces or pick a brick order to get, depending on where they're available, to get many, many more parts for this build. But I'm happy with how it's coming along so far. Let me know what you think about it, and please come back for more videos. Thank you for watching.